Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be an interval of 15 minutes.
It's been many years since we first met. How time flies. We're none of us getting any younger. Do you remember the first time I saw you? You asked me to luncheon.
Rose, I'll step outside for a moment.
To tell the truth, it had been so long that I didn't recognize her. If someone hadn't mentioned her name, I wouldn't have known her at all.
But the moment I heard it, did I remember?
It was 20 years ago, back when I was barely keeping body and soul together. She had read a book of mine and had written to me about it. I answered thanking her, and presently I received from her another letter. She said she was passing through Paris and would like to have a chat with me. But her time was limited, and the only free moment she had was on the following Thursday. She was spending the morning at the Luxembourg and asked, would I give her a little luncheon at Foyot's afterwards? Foyot's was a restaurant at which the French senators ate, and it was so far beyond my means that I had never even thought of going there. But I was flattered, and I was too young to have learned to say no to a woman. I may add that few men learn this until they are too old to make it of any consequence to a woman what they say. I had 80 francs to last me the rest of the month, and a modest luncheon should not cost more than 15. If I cut out coffee for the next 2 weeks, I could manage well enough. So I answered that I would meet my correspondent at Foyot's on Thursday at 12:30. As you can see, she was not so young as I expected, and in appearance imposing rather than attractive. She seemed to be in her 40s, and she gave me the impression of having more teeth, white and large and even, than were necessary for any practical purpose. She was talkative, and since she seemed inclined to talk about me, I was prepared to be an attentive listener.
I never eat anything for luncheon.
Oh, don't say that.
I never eat more than one thing. I think people eat far too much nowadays. A little fish, perhaps. I wonder if they have any salmon.
Well, it was early in the year for salmon, and it was not on the bill of fare, but I asked the waiter if there was any.
Yes, a beautiful salmon has just come in.
It was the first they had had. I ordered it for my guest.
Would you like something while it is being cooked?
No, I never eat more than one thing. Unless you had a little caviar.
My heart sank a little, but I could not very well tell her that I could not afford caviar. I told the waiter by all means to bring caviar. For myself, I chose the cheapest dish on the menu, which was a mutton chop.
I think you're unwise to eat meat. I don't know how you can expect to work after eating heavy things like chops. I don't believe in overloading my stomach.
Then came the question of drink.
I never drink anything for luncheon.
Neither do I.
Except white wine. French white wines are so light. They're wonderful for the digestion.
What would you like?
My doctor won't let me drink anything but champagne.
One white champagne,
I fancy
please.
I turned a trifle pale. I ordered half a bottle and casually mentioned that my doctor had absolutely forbidden me to drink champagne.
What are you going to drink then?
Water. Bon appétit, monsieur.
The woman in front of me devoured the caviar and the salmon. She talked gaily of art and literature and music, like Jules Verne and Elgar, but I wondered what the bill would come to. When my mutton chop arrived, she took me to task.
I see that you're in the habit of eating a heavy luncheon. I'm sure it's a mistake. Why don't you follow my example and just eat one thing? I'm sure you'd feel ever so much better for it.
I am only going to eat one thing.
The waiter came back.
No, I never eat anything for luncheon. Just a bite. I never want more than that. And I eat that more as an excuse for conversation than anything else. I couldn't possibly eat anything more unless they had some of those giant asparagus. I should be sorry to leave Paris without having some of them.
My heart sank. I had seen them in the shops, and I knew that they were horribly expensive. My mouth had often watered at the sight of them.
Madame wants to know if you have any of those giant asparagus.
Yes, we have some so large, so splendid, so tender that it is a marvel.
I'm not in the least hungry, but if you insist, I don't mind having some.
I ordered them.
Aren't you going to have any?
No, I never eat asparagus.
I know there are people who don't like them. The fact is, you ruin your palate by all the meat you eat.
It was not a question now how much money I should have left over for the rest of the month, but whether I had enough to pay the bill. It would be mortifying to find myself 10 francs short and be obliged to borrow from my guest. If the bill came to more than I had, I made up my mind that I would put my hand in my pocket and, with a dramatic cry, start up and say it had been picked. Of course, it would be awkward if she had not money enough, either. Then the only thing would be to leave my watch and say I would come back and pay later.
The argument that the theatre is the face of the nation and the cathedral of the people
is exactly what led to the construction of the National Theatre in Sofia, Bulgaria.
I see you finished.
Coffee?
Yes, just an ice cream and coffee.
I was past caring now, so I ordered coffee for myself and an ice cream and coffee for her.
You know, there's one thing I thoroughly believe in. One should always get up from a meal feeling one could eat a little more.
Are you still hungry?
Oh, no, I'm not hungry. You see, I don't eat luncheon. I have a cup of coffee in the morning and then dinner.
Oh, I see.
You filled your stomach with a lot of meat, so you can't eat any more. But I've just had a snack, and I shall enjoy a peach.
The bill arrived. After paying for the meal, I was left with a sum that was hopelessly inadequate for a tip.
Is there anything else, sir?
Her eyes flew to the 3 francs I had set aside for the waiter, and lingered there for a moment. She must have thought me a mean person. When I walked out of the restaurant, I had the whole month before me and not a penny in my pocket.
Follow my example and never eat more than one thing for luncheon.
I'll do better than that. I'll eat nothing for dinner tonight.
Humorist! You're quite a humorist.
But I have had my revenge at last. I do not believe that I am a vindictive man, but when the immortal gods take a hand in the matter, it is pardonable to observe the result with complacency. Today she weighs 21 stone.